They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
The most shocking trade, I think, in the history of the NBA, at least from a shock value. Oh my God, is this real? Has Shams been hacked?
This deal materialized in the shadows. This came out of nowhere. This is maybe the most stunning trade, definitely that I've been a part of in recent NBA history, as far as it was never clearly out there.
You hear burbling with players of his caliber all the time of like, oh, if it ever got to the point, then maybe the Lakers or a team like that would be consulted. If it ever reached a certain threshold, but I'm completely blindsided by this, as apparently is most of the league, including many of the players.
We've had a vision in the culture that we want to create since we've been here. And the players that we're bringing in, we believe exemplify that. And, we think defense wins championships.
Wembanyama working Davis, spinning, taking, hitting, plus the foul. Decided to roll the dice. And Wemby won.
Go get it.
Oh yeah, let's trade one of the top 3 players in the NBA, right? I wouldn't have done it, but it's done.
Fire Nico! Fire Nico!
On the switch, Luka's got the big on him. Tries the 3. And hits it! The first of many to come for Luka Doncic as a Laker.
Doncic steps back, three-pointer. It's good! Rattles it home! 43 points for Doncic.
I love these fans. I love the city. But it's time to move on.
Close to midnight on February 1st, 2025, the Los Angeles Lakers acquired superstar guard Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks via trade.
Breaking news on SportsCenter this morning, the Lakers and Mavericks making it a blockbuster night. Luka Doncic headed to the Lakers, Anthony Davis headed to the Mavericks in a seismic trade that shakes up the reigning Western Conference champion Mavs and gives LeBron James in Los Angeles a 25-year-old superstar who's been All-NBA first team for 5 straight years.
This unprecedented trade shook the fabric of the sports world. The fallout on and off the court has been dramatic and seemingly ever expanding. In the year plus since the deal, both franchises involved have trended in completely opposite directions. There is so much backstory and so much important context that deep analysis is necessary to completely understand it.
This was the most shocking trade in NBA history for a lot of people, maybe in sports in America. I think that's how surprising it was, and I think everyone is trying to rationalize how the Mavericks could trade Luka Doncic at 25 years old.
Before we get started, I need to clarify something.
The rules dictate you must be precise, as the law is a very precise endeavor.
To this point, the title of case study to describe this series of in-depth looks at the best stories in sports has been self-explanatory enough. But this time, I'm forced to be more specific. There is simply too much to this story.
It's unforgivable to trade a player of his caliber. You don't do that. That's a career-altering, a franchise-altering move.
The definition of a case study is a process or record of research in which detailed consideration is given to the development of a particular person, group, or situation over a period of time. These empirical inquiries investigate a contemporary phenomenon within its real-life context, especially in situations like these, where the boundaries between phenomenon and context are not clearly evident.
None of this really makes sense. I don't care how bad this relationship and this situation had gotten between Luka and the Mavs. The way that they are moving and doing this trade is nonsensical, and more information is going to have to come out for me to understand why they're doing this.
So in this edition of Case Study, we will be literally following the format of a case study, as if we were Mike Ross trying to impress Harvey Specter ourselves.
The rules dictate that you must be precise, as the law is a precise endeavor.
We will gather background info, collect all the data we can to understand the context, go over our findings, analyze and discuss what we have found, and hopefully we will have come to some type of conclusion for our central questions. Why was this trade so controversial? How did it happen? And was it or was it not justified? With that in mind, welcome to Case Study, the Luka trade.
Yeah, just to see how the other half lives. Move over. I'm emailing the firm I just found our...
Were these magic grits? I mean, did you buy them from the same guy who sold Jack his beanstalk beans?
You want answers!
I
want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
First, we need to gather background data. For that, we will deep dive into the past of the three central figures of this story, before they all came together in 2021. Those figures being Luka Doncic, Nico Harrison, and the city of Dallas, Texas. We'll start with the city itself. On its own, Dallas is the 9th largest city in the United States, but really, it's much, much more than that. The Big D operates only as a small part of the larger Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, which consists of 8 principal cities that includes Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, Irving, Denton, Richardson, and Grapevine. All in all, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex represents the 4th largest metropolitan area in the U.S., as well as the economic and cultural hub of North Texas.
Home and business construction booming in North Texas as more and more people move in, calling our state home. In fact, according to new census numbers, Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington area grew more than any other metro area in the country last year.
Sadly, the region's history with professional sports begins in the aftermath of one of the greatest American tragedies.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
The assassination of JFK put a dark cloud over Dallas. But the culture of the Metroplex received a lifeline as the 60s came to a close in the form of a new national pastime.
I remember talking to Alicia about it, and I said, Alicia, you know, we're having an expansion club. And he says, boy, we'll be fired in 3 years. I said, nobody takes an expansion club anyplace.
The Dallas Cowboys, an expansion NFL team in 1960, had suddenly gotten good. Led by head coach Tom Landry and quarterback Roger Staubach, the Cowboys formed their first dynasty in the 1970s.
When the clock struck 12, it was doomsday in the Dome, the sacking of Cinderella.
By the time the calendar had flipped to 1980, America's team had won the Super Bowl twice and had won the NFC 5 times. This stretch of dominance on the football field, coupled with the success of CBS's new hit soap opera, Dallas, worked wonders in helping create a new reputation for the city and the Metroplex.
The oil business is a little bit like a poker game. It's good to get caught bluffing early on, because after that, somebody's going to call you when you got a winning hand.
From the Cowboys particularly, stemmed a new reputation of high expectations, excellence, and an aura of doing things the right way.
Roger, you have an all-American image. You're kind of a straight guy. Do you enjoy it, or is it a burden?
You interviewed Joe Namath. Everyone in the world compares me to Joe Namath, you know, as far as, you know, the idea of off the field. He's single, bachelor swinging, I'm married and family, and, you know, he's having all the fun. And, you know, I enjoy sex as much as Joe Namath. Only I do it with one girl, you know? But it's still fun.
This period of Cowboys history also set a tone for the Metroplex's fan bases overall. The fans who rooted for these teams would truly understand what it takes to win and would always be there to support their teams, no matter what.
And the Cowboy coach Tom Landry getting a ride off on the shoulders of his team as time has expired and the Dallas Cowboys are the champions of the National Football League.
The hype surrounding the Cowboys in the 70s helped pave the way for another pro sports team to join the party in 1980, that team being the expansion Dallas Mavericks of the NBA.
The NBA owners voted to put a team in Dallas with some new conditions.
The Mavericks represented an exciting return of professional sports to the actual city of Dallas. The Cowboys had left the Cotton Bowl in Dallas for Texas Stadium in Irving back in 1971. And when the MLB's Washington Senators made their relocation to Texas in 1972, they chose to do so at Turnpike Stadium in Arlington. But the Dallas Mavericks were true to their moniker. They would play in downtown Dallas at the new Reunion Arena. Like most expansion teams, the Mavericks stumbled out of the gates. But that losing led the team to drafting scoring phenom Mark Aguirre out of DePaul, Rolando Blackman out of Kansas State, and savvy point guard Derek Harper out of Illinois between 1981 and 1983.
Aguirre with the ball. Oh my!
Dallas advanced to their first ever Western Conference Finals appearance in 1988, where they came face-to-face with the Showtime Los Angeles Lakers, led by Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and James Worthy.
High above the plane.
In that series, the Mavs won all 3 of their games at Reunion Arena on their way to forcing a Game 7 against the reigning champs. Ultimately, the Lakers were too much to contain for the pesky Mavs, and the Lake Show went on to win its 5th championship of the Magic Johnson era. The good times were not here to stay for the upstart Mavs. Mark Aguirre was traded to the Detroit Pistons in the subsequent season, and the franchise quickly fell back down to earth. Fortunately for the Metroplex, the 90s awarded a second dynasty in one lifetime to the Dallas Cowboys.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
But as kind as the decade was to Jerry Jones's then new team, it was equally harsh to the Mavericks. The height of this contrast can be seen in 1993. While Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys were at the peak of their powers beating up on the Buffalo Bills, and Nolan Ryan was doing the same with Robin Ventura.
Look at this.
The Mavericks had just finished with an astonishing 11-71 overall record, and then watched in horror as the lottery process awarded the team the 4th overall pick, firmly keeping the team out of range to draft either Chris Webber out of Michigan or Penny Hardaway out of Memphis. The Mavs were able to wade out of the dog days of the 90s thanks to the introduction of 2 key figures. The first came when the team acquired forward Dirk Nowitzki in the 1998 NBA draft in a trade with the Milwaukee Bucks. And the second came in 2000 when tech billionaire Mark Cuban purchased the Mavericks for a cool $285 million.
I'm a zero-sum guy. Either you're winning or you're not. And winning not just in terms of doing better than you did yesterday, but winning in terms of winning championships.
This same year, the Mavs moved into their current home, the American Airlines Arena, located in Victory Park, Dallas. These 2 figures, Cuban and Nowitzki, worked in unison to completely change the reputation of the franchise from hard luck loser to legitimate contender. From 1980 to 2000, the Mavs had won a meager 40% of their games. But from 2000 to 2010, the Mavs won nearly 70% of their games, while being led on the court by Dirk and off by Cuban. While these 2 ushered the Mavericks into the Golden Age, it must be stated that this era of Dallas hoops was far from perfect. In fact, both had some really rough times during this decade. After a disappointing playoff exit in 2004, Cuban lowballed free agent point guard Steve Nash to the point that he bolted for the Phoenix Suns, where he went on to immediately win multiple MVP awards. And after winning the MVP award himself in 2007, Dirk's top-seeded Mavs were upset by the number 8 seed We Believe Golden State Warriors, leading to the single most awkward MVP award ceremony of all time.
Great honor to be here. Still a little sad about how things happened in the postseason, but this is an award for a regular season, and it's great.
But while both Cuban and Nowitzki had their fair share of missteps, they both personified the Metroplex perfectly. The Metroplex is a region of immense growth and opportunity. From 1970 to 2020, the area has grown in population by more than 4 million people, with a large number of those people coming as transplants from other places. Cuban, a Pittsburgh native who moved to Dallas in his early 20s to tend bar, evolved into one of the most successful businessmen in American history while in Dallas.
I'm the first to realize that luck plays a huge part in it. I happen to have a company, broadcast.com, that went public at the right time when the internet stock market was going nuts.
And he has wound up calling the area home to this day. Nowitzki, born and raised in West Germany, was acquired by the Mavs in 1998 as a 19-year-old, where he evolved into the greatest sharpshooting big man that the game has ever seen. He has also called the area home to this day.
My work is far from done here. This is my city. It's always been a pleasure living here. The franchise, the city, the people.
So thank you. I won't lose the key. And thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it.
Their stories mirror the manifest destiny-esque allure of Dallas and its modern reputation in the 21st century. It's a place where anyone can breeze in and make a wonderful life for themselves, provided they put in the work. A fitting metaphor, considering Fort Worth was once considered to be where the West began. Dirk's Mavs finally broke their trend of playoff heartbreak in 2011. In the West semis that year, the Mavs faced the reigning champion LA Lakers again, this time being led by Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. There, Dallas earned the pleasure of ending the Phil Jackson era in LA when they swept the Lakers out of the playoffs, earning them a trip to the West Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. But the Mavs' experience won out in that series, as the Mavs earned their second finals berth in franchise history.
All I can say is there's 20-some thousand people in this building who believed in us when nobody else did.
The 2011 finals pit the Mavs versus LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh's Miami Heat.
Nowitzki back up to Kidd, wide open for three. Knocks it down, Jason Kidd. A minute remaining. Here goes Marion. Back to Nowitzki. Lefty layup, banks it in, and the game is tied. What a comeback from the Mavericks. Timeout, Miami. Terry to Nowitzki. Puts up the three. Puts it in. Dallas goes up by 3 with 26.7 remaining. 7 to shoot. Nowitzki drives with it underneath. Lefty layup, banks it in with 3.6 remaining. Miami out of timeouts, trailing by 2. James back to Wade. Wade puts it up for the win. Off the mark, and Dallas has tied the finals. He's ready to take over this basketball. Barea puts it in. J.J. Barea from downtown. The way they should play. Nowitzki hooks it up. Puts it in. Dirk Nowitzki makes it a 10-point game. Remaining, Terry gets it. And the Heat will not foul. Sean Marion dribbles it out. And a celebration will begin. The Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions. The first title in franchise history.
At long last, Dirk was a champion and a Finals MVP, and Cuban finally had the Larry O'Brien trophy he had long coveted. With that Finals win, a new generation of lifelong Mavericks fans were cemented. At the time, it was the first championship for the city since the Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup. It was also a rare example of an NBA Finals where the heavy favorites were defeated by a team built on depth and defense. You know, the kind that wins championships. Just like that, figures like Jason Kidd, Jason Terry, and J.J. Barea became royalty in the city, the same way that Jim McMahon is in Chicago and Bucky Dent is in the Bronx. Those being sub-superstar figures that are always recognized by a sophisticated, fanatic sports community that knows the figures that truly lead to winning championships.
And winning isn't just good for Dallas financially. It also helps Dallas's reputation as the sports spotlight shines on North Texas.
Obviously, we are known as a football city, but really we're much more than that.
I think we are the #1 sports destination in the world.
Looking good, team, looking good! When Minnie's Food Pantry in Plano isn't keeping its founder busy, hey, macaroni and cheese! Cheryl Jackson has another passion to pursue, her deep love of the Dallas Mavericks.
My passion is just community. It's just people. It's taking, and like I said, rooting for the underdog. And the Dallas Mavericks, unfortunately, have always been the underdog. They just, I love the fight in them.
This is the community of sports fandom that exists in Dallas and the Metroplex as a whole.
I came out here after we won the Western Conference Finals, and what did I say? Thank you. We love you, Dallas.
Now, on to El Niño Maravilla. In 2012, the professional basketball career of Luka Doncic began when he signed a 5-year deal with Real Madrid's under-16 team. As a 13-year-old, he left the comforts of his home country Slovenia to move to Spain and pursue his athletic career at the highest level. The son of former 6-time Adriatic League All-Star Sasa Doncic, Luka identified himself as a basketball prodigy almost immediately. Consistently sharing the court with older players, he displayed a truly preternatural understanding of the game. He made his first preseason appearance for Real Madrid's top team at the ripe age of 15. The same time he was given the nickname El Niño Maravilla, also known as the Wonder Boy, by the newspaper Marca. As a teenager, Luka's smooth shooting and creation ability drew early comparisons to Balkan basketball legend Drazen Petrovic. Luka thrived with the ball in his hands, even as he grew out of a guard's build into one of a typical forward player. In 2018, the same year he was anticipating a leap to the NBA, Doncic led Real Madrid to the Eurobasket Championship, while being named MVP of the season, the championship, and the Final Four. His level of success in that age in top-tier EuroLeagues is only comparable to two modern players, Nikola Jokic and Alperen Şengün.
Sells it out and picks it up himself. Oh, no, he didn't. And then Felipe Reyes, no, he didn't. He crossed up Victor Claver. But one, look at this crossover. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. 10 seconds left to go. Game clock here. Doncic goes to the basket strong. It says, get out of here. As he screams to the crowd and chest bumps. Luka Doncic, who missed a few easy ones around the basket, this time says, I'm putting it down, son. The young man taking pain to the hoop. There we go.
Starting to run the show once again. Oh, lovely skill. Oh, have some of that. Luka Doncic is turning on the style here.
Tomic with the lay-in, and Luka Doncic with the full corner on the buzzer. Are you kidding me? The young man, 18 years old, drills it from full court. What is going on? Are you serious? Luka Doncic. If that doesn't have the 7-day magic moment written all over.
Heading into the 2018 draft, it seemed like a foregone conclusion that Luka would be the top pick.
For more on Luka Doncic, we're joined now on the phone by our college basketball analyst, Fran Fraschillo, who keeps tabs globally. Fran, what more can you tell us about this 18-year-old Slovenian phenom?
Randy, think about it this way. If the NBA is the equivalent of the major leagues in baseball, college basketball would be AA, and the Euro League, where Luka Doncic is currently playing, AAA. He has been playing at that level and playing a lot and now starring since he was 16 years old. He's going to turn 19 at the end of this month, but what he's doing at the second highest level of basketball in the world is unprecedented for European players. It didn't matter if it was Antetokounmpo, Porzingis, or even Dirk Nowitzki. No team, no player has ever done what he's doing.
I would, no doubt, no hesitation, take Luka Doncic with the number 1 overall pick. Luka Doncic is the guard wing 2-3 from Real Madrid and Barcelona. He's 18, 19 years old. He's spent the last 3 or 4 years since he's 16 playing professional basketball against men. Much higher level than NCAA.
He just had the it factor.
He had the it.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the best shooter. He wasn't the best anything.
Yeah.
But he just knew how to play better than anybody.
Yeah.
Fortunately for the Metroplex, the top of the draft, as per usual, was littered with incompetence. The Phoenix Suns were owners of the top pick, and they had just hired Igor Kokoškov, the head coach of Slovenia's men's national team, as their new head coach. They also had the fortune of already housing a bona fide superstar on their roster in Devin Booker. But, some way, somehow, the Suns talked themselves out of Doncic as the top pick and talked themselves into selecting the local star from Arizona, DeAndre Ayton. The second overall pick belonged to the Sacramento Kings, who I already made fun of enough in the last episode of Case Study. The Kings took legendary draft bust Marvin Bagley out of Duke, who couldn't even stick around long enough to be a part of the Light the Beam season in Sacramento. These mostly, definitively indefensible decisions left Luka still on the board at pick number 3 when the Atlanta Hawks were on the clock. Still, the Mavs needed one more indefensible decision to go their way. That decision came after Mark Cuban made a call to Atlanta Hawks majority owner Tony Ressler. Eventually, a deal was struck, as the Mavs agreed to send the 5th overall pick and a future protected first rounder to Atlanta in exchange for the 3rd pick and the right to draft the Wonder Boy.
We wanted him, and so we were playing the game. Who's going to get drafted where?
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of knew that the Suns were going to pick Ayton at number 1, but we didn't know what the Kings were going to do at number 2.
Okay.
Or then we heard that the Hawks really wanted Trey, and so it all came down to what happened at
with
number
the Kings.
2.
Yep.
Yeah, and so while we're waiting to see what happens with the Kings, our general managers, the Hawks and the Mavs general managers, are talking.
Yeah.
And nothing was getting done. And so with I don't even know how much time left on the clock for the number 3 pick, I called the owner of the Hawks. Tony was really cool. He goes, okay, it's my GM's final decision, but let me just find out what's going on. And so I'm like, okay, we'll swap picks, and just to move up from 5 to 3, we'll give you a first.
Okay.
And, it took down to the last minute. And when the Kings didn't pick him, we got that trade done, and that was it.
Cuban, Donnie Nelson, and the Mavs organization had their guy.
With the 3rd pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Luka Doncic from Ljubljana, Slovenia, and Real Madrid.
Man, it has been quite a couple of days for Luka Doncic. We saw him hugging his mother there. As Trae Young now sits and waits. We expect from what Woj just told us that Luka will be on his way to Dallas in the heir apparent as the franchise cornerstone after Dirk Nowitzki.
All right, we've got Luka here, and I know you're wearing an Atlanta hat, but if a trade goes through, according to Woj, you will actually be headed to Dallas. So let's talk through that, and how much communication have you had with the Dallas organization?
Yeah, I've been talking to them, I've been talking to a lot of teams, but especially Dallas, they've been talking to me. They were so nice to me, and I'm glad, I'm just happy to be in the NBA, I'm just happy to be a part of that.
It was just I remember watching that, and it wasn't so much watching the video, it was watching the players that he played with defer to him. Deferring, grown men who had been in those leagues and the NBA for years, wanting the ball in his hands. That's all I needed to see.
The roster that Luka was joining in 2018 was a clunky one. It included a 40-year-old Dirk Nowitzki on his retirement tour, second-round rookie Jalen Brunson of NCAA fame, Dennis Smith Jr., and a plethora of random, aging contracts. Nonetheless, with a very limited pool of talent around him, it did not take long for Luka to make the Suns, Kings, and Hawks look incredibly foolish.
The same confidence and the same will to go out and play. That's one of his favorite moves.
Breaking in and shaping up, then checking out around the prison walls. This is the apocalypse. Doncic throws down Luka from just inside half court. He got it! He got it! Some Cooperstein told me at shoot-around too. Right
before Thanksgiving.
Indeed. Got it. Here in the corner, Luka! How did he do it? How did he do it? That is Luka magic! Half-court heave. And Luka bank it home! Luka magic has made everybody ooh and ah at Barclays Center. Down toward the minute to play in the first quarter. Shot block. Defender riding Luka to the basket. Oh, there it goes!
Anyone who watched Luka play could see it. Few players in the history of the game have been able to replicate his court vision, ball handling skills, and shooting ability, all while playing at a usage rate over 30% as a 19-year-old rookie. No one recognized that ascension better than Luka's home fans at the American Airlines Arena. They could see that while one legend's career was coming to a close, another rising European superstar was getting ready to take his place.
Well, I heard there was a wonder boy that many teams would not employ, but you don't really care for Euros, do ya? So where would he go, the fourth, the fifth? Or would he fall and be a Nick? The baffling Kings took Bagley over Luka. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, maybe he should have been your pick, even though he's white and thick, than a tall glass of kombucha. And we all cheered for his debut, and even Dirk was cheering too. And every Mavs fan shouted hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Let's hear it again for Isaac Lee and Jason Gallagher.
Funny enough, in execution, Doncic found himself bonding off the court less with Dirk and more with JJ Barea, who was enjoying his second stint with the Mavs. Having picked up Spanish playing for Real Madrid, it was easy for Luka and the Puerto Rican-born Barea to form a connection through Spanish and an affection for Bad Bunny. It was Barea who summarized Luka up the best, having been quoted as calling Doncic a different rookie. He won't follow the rules, but he's cool about it. In the end, Luka averaged 21 points per game as a rookie and secured 98 out of 100 first-place votes for Rookie of the Year. A higher percentage of first-place votes than Shohei Ohtani had earned during his Rookie of the Year campaign 1 year prior. In the aftermath of the Rookie of the Year ceremony, Rick Carlisle called Luka the best rookie I've seen since LeBron James, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan. Pretty high praise.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to congratulate Trey and DeAndre for amazing seasons. And not just them, the whole rookie class. I think it's amazing. And we can make something big. And after, I want to thank my family, my girl, Kike, Bill, Rick, my team, my whole teammates. So thank you very much.
With Doncic having taken no time at all to separate himself as the future of the Mavs organization, the proactive Cuban quickly made a move to try and solidify a core that fit Luka's rising timeline. That move came on January 31st, 2019, when the Dallas Mavericks shipped Dennis Smith Jr., draft capital, and a pair of expiring contracts to the New York Knicks in exchange for rising all-star forward Kristaps Porzingis.
Rejected by Porzingis. Here's Porzingis on the feed from Jack.
Porzingis was still rehabbing an ACL injury at the time of the trade and wouldn't suit up for the Mavs until the next season, but at just 22 years old, he projected to be a perfect running mate for Luka as the pair continued to improve. The Unicorn had just come off a breakout season in New York, where he averaged 23 points and averaged 3.2 stocks per game across 48 games, operating as the Knicks' only above-average player on the roster. Now with Luka in Dallas, Cuban's idea was that the pair would evolve into the evolutionary versions of Dirk and Nash from 15 years prior.
We hopefully will continue to get better throughout the course of the season, and then when Chris comes back for next year, it will accelerate even from there.
Dallas cemented its confidence in the Doncic-Porzingis pairing on July 12, 2019, when they signed Porzingis to a 5-year, $158 million extension. Another major win for Dallas in the 2019 season was that rookie Jalen Brunson shot 47% from the field and 35% from three-point range in his first pro season while playing real minutes, establishing the former National College Player of the Year as a real part of Dallas's young core going forward.
Now Brunson steps up, fires the three. Oh my goodness. Wow, does he love daggers.
The 2019 campaign was about as memorable a season as a fan base can experience without winning anything of consequence, ranking right up there with the Knicks' Linsanity season. They watched as their greatest franchise legend rode off into the sunset, watched as their new savior broke onto the scene, and enjoyed icing on the cake in the form of the surprising ascension of Brunson and the acquisition of Porzingis. Optimism moving forward was at an all-time high. In the COVID-shortened 2019-2020 regular season, Luka fully broke out into legitimate stardom as a true sophomore. He averaged 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists per game as he finished 4th in the MVP as a 20-year-old, only behind Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, and James Harden. Porzingis added 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 2.7 stocks per game in his first season in Dallas.
Porzingis, look out! There's the exclamation point!
As the Mavs offense soared to first in the league in offensive rating. The fit of Luka and Porzingis on the court was proving not to be quite as seamless as Cuban might have hoped through 57 games together, but with both parties still yet to hit their 25th birthday, there was still plenty of optimism for the pair's first playoff series in the NBA's 2020 Orlando playoff bubble. Brunson would miss the 2020 playoff push due to a labrum injury, but nevertheless, the Mavs' 43-32 record earned them the number 7 seed in the West, setting them up for a first-round matchup against the heavily favored number 2 seeded Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers had been the buzz of the offseason 10 months prior when they signed superstar Kawhi Leonard in free agency and swung a blockbuster trade for Paul George within about a 48-hour span in the summer of 2019.
They went all in a way that we have not seen a team previous go all in.
The Kawhi PG Clippers lived up to expectations in the regular season, winning 49 games with the help of guys like Lou Williams, Ivica Zubac, Marcus Morris, and Sixth Man of the Year Montrezl Harrell. While the Clippers waltzed into the series as heavy favorites, the Mavs still figured to be as dangerous a 7 seed as you can find, considering they had just broken the single-season record for offensive efficiency, scoring 115.9 points per 100 possessions. In Game 1 of the series in 2020, Luka announced his presence with authority.
Doncic nails the three-pointer.
Look for Beverly.
Doncic spins inside, flips it up and in. Doncic fakes, leans in, bang shot is good. 38 points for Doncic. Doncic drives on Jackson, gets inside, lays it in easily. A 40-point game in his NBA playoff debut.
Luka's 42-point, 9 assist, and 7 rebound performance helped keep Dallas in the game, but ultimately, they would fall in Game 1. Amidst the shooting display, the Wonder Boy's age still showed with his 11 turnovers. In Game 2, the Mavs were able to spread out their offensive attack, stunning the Clippers with a series-tying win. Porzingis was a star in Game 3, cooking the Clippers for 34 points and 13 rebounds.
He's got it going here in the bubble. Here's Doncic. No, but the follow by Kristaps Porzingis. Doncic leaves it for Porzingis.
Kawhi has waved other players out and said, my turn.
And Kristaps Porzingis with a big 3. Long range.
But just like Luka in Game 1, Porzingis' playoff breakout performance was in vain, as the Mavs were ultimately defeated by LA in Game 3. Worse, right as he was hitting his stride, Porzingis suffered a lateral meniscus tear, forcing him to miss the rest of the series, leaving Luka all by himself against the mighty Clippers. Yet with a short-handed roster around him, in Game 4, the legend of the Wonder Boy took center stage.
Go down to the G League. He said it was a very humbling experience. Oh, nice Euro step. On the steal. Doncic takes it away from Paul George, drives inside, fake, shot, banks it home. Doncic pulls back, three-pointer, bang! Luka Doncic.
I like this matchup about Luka. Can use that strength.
Spins on Jackson, layup, it's good! 40-point. Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls up, three-pointer, bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer!
Let's go! Luka Doncic! Boom! Shaka Luka!
I was just trying to make it, I can't explain the emotions I had, when not only when the ball goes in, when I see the whole team running towards me, that was something special. One of the best feelings I ever had as a player, and it's just something special, man. This team is something special.
Game 4 was Luka's introduction to the NBA that he was for real. His feel for big moments and shot-making ability were already in the top 1% of NBA players.
Doncic pulls up, three-pointer, bang! Bang! It's good!
from Slovenia.
Yeah.
A man who I don't think I paid enough attention to or gave enough credit to before quarantine and before the bubble down there. But Luka Doncic, who is 21 years old.
Yep.
21 years old. When I was 21, very different than what Luka's doing.
Los Angeles' star-studded duo of Kawhi and PG overpowered the shorthanded Mavericks in Games 5 and 6 to secure the series. But the message was clear. The Mavericks had one of the game-changing guys in the league. Just the kind that Cuban had been looking for. With his status cemented, Luka led the league in usage rating in the subsequent 2020-2021 season, a season that proved to be a frustrating one for the upstart Mavs. While his per-game averages were a slight tick down from the year prior, Luka still earned All-NBA first-team honors for the second consecutive season.
Here's Luka. Gets it away. It's good! A Doncic dagger! He wins it!
The face of the Mavs' frustration was Porzingis. Head coach Rick Carlisle struggled to get both of his young stars going in games on offense, mainly due to the fact that both players' offensive games were predicated on them having the ball in their hands. KP averaged 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 1.8 stocks per game across 43 games, having been limited by lingering knee issues. Brunson, on the other hand, had bounced back from his injury at the end of the 2020 season and turned into one of the most efficient bench scorers in the league.
Brunson slithering around the Porzingis screen. Now he drives straight to the basket.
Earning him a 4th place finish that year in the 6 Man of the Year vote. Dallas finished that year with a 42-30 overall record, good enough for the number 5 seed in the 2021 NBA playoffs. And for the second consecutive season, the Mavs had a date with Kawhi and PG's Clippers in the first round. In games 1 and 2 on the road in LA, the Mavs flew out of the gate against the favored Clippers.
Here's Doncic, draws Batum on the switch, the skip. Finney Smith from downtown, his 4th three. Look at Rondo right in his grill. They double. Porzingis on the drive.
Now Luka waiting for the Willie Cauley-Stein pick, and he's got a half hour to take that. Gets the triple. Can't go on to the screen. Yeah, I was going to say.
You got to fight over it. You got to fight over it.
They're taking it out of Luka's hands. Hardaway for 3. Got it! Wow. That's huge.
Their 2-0 series lead gave Dallas faithful hope that they could upset LA, but they quickly had the favor returned by Kawhi in games 3 and 4. In games 5 and 6, Luka and Kawhi continued their back and forth in each other's arena.
And the 9th different Clipper to defend him. He'll drive and push and fire. 42 for Luka Doncic.
And that was important. He was 0 for 3 here.
Leonard. Pull-up jumper. It's good. Kawhi Leonard with 39 as we get under 3 minutes remaining.
This matchup.
5 to shoot. Leonard, step back 3. Bang! Kawhi Leonard from downtown. Timeout, Dallas.
Money out of my way. Allow me to have this dance. Knock down the shot. Put his team.
The Clippers' Game 6 win set the stage for Luka's first Game 7 in LA.
Doncic falling away, shot in the paint, drops it for Trey Burke. Doncic, the Euro step, and an easy block on the offensive end. Pass deflected and stolen. Leonard down the other end with the catch. Grab on Marjanovic. Count the basket and the foul. Everything going Leonard and the Clippers' way as the lead balloons to 21.
In the end, the Clippers were victorious again. Amidst the sting of defeat, Luka's 46-point, 14-rebound performance in Game 7 still added to his rising legend going into the 2021 offseason.
We gave everything. I'm really proud of this team. Obviously, I hate losing. We hate losing, but I'm proud of my team.
We'll get back to the on-court ascension of the Wonder Boy in a minute, but first we have to introduce the final central figure to this case study. Last, and certainly least, we have Nico Harrison. Born in Seattle, Washington, Harrison was a Patriot League all-freshman team selection during his freshman year playing college ball for the Army Black Knights. He transferred to Montana State during the same time that the Mavs were tanking out in 1993, and eventually went on to become a 3-time first-team All-Big Sky player for the Bobcats. His playing career eventually earned him a selection to the Montana State Bobcats Hall of Fame. After his playing career overseas was done, he took a job working for Nike as a field representative for the NBA in 2002, a job that took him to Dallas, Texas. Over the subsequent 2 decades, Harrison worked his way up the ladder at Nike, eventually becoming vice president of North American basketball operations. What separated Harrison from the competition during his time at Nike was, allegedly, his trustworthiness, and uncanny ability to develop personal connections with the talent on the court. I swear to God, that was a reputation. I did not make any of that up. However, there is one story during his time at Nike that raised a few eyebrows that feels worth bringing up. Back in 2013, Harrison ran point on a pitch to budding superstar Steph Curry, a pitch that was botched when he allegedly referred to the greatest modern point guard as Seth and used the exact same pitch presentation that they had used earlier for Kevin Durant. If this had been a pitch to Kemba Walker, the story probably wouldn't be worth telling. But it is worth knowing that by 2013, Steph was not exactly taking the league by surprise. He was clearly establishing himself as one of the best players in the league. When Curry spent the next decade leading the greatest modern dynasty in NBA history, he did so representing Under Armour. The most transformative athlete in the game representing Under Armour. Interesting. Again, a minor nitpick, but as we'll dive into soon, this story in retrospect feels indicative of an overarching pattern of fundamental inability to separate the really good from the great. Nonetheless, on June 28, 2021, Harrison succeeded Donnie Nelson as the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks.
My approach is really simple. It's going to be about servant leadership that kind of empowers the team and the staff to be at their best. And I believe that's essential and super important. Communication, communicating often, communicating truthfully. I think that's a very important ingredient. And then a culture that everybody wants to be a part of. The fans want to be a part of, the staff wants to be a part of, and the team wants to be a part of. And I think if you have those three ingredients, you're going to win.
It was Harrison's first position working directly in the league. This move finally brings together our three central figures to the same address, 2500 Victory Avenue. At the time of Harrison's ascension to the general manager's chair, he was being handed a young roster that included a 21-year-old Luka Doncic, 25-year-old Kristaps Porzingis, and 24-year-old Jalen Brunson. With that in mind, we move on to the next stage of our case study. At the end of part 1, we have established our figures as a uniquely passionate and large sports town, a generational basketball wunderkind, and a rookie executive with zero experience.